ranking the complete La Liga team of the season. We've had a week since the release, so we're getting into the goods. You're gonna feel those comments. We have broken rank 1 foot champs debatable in the pine. Shall we begin? Bonmati. She got that pro clubs type of movement in the midfield. She's a bit undersized, but it's hard for me not to have a 97 overall, Ballon d'Or winner, player of the year, all the accomplishments, part of that Barcelona side. If you'd like a creative engineer in the middies, look no further. Alba, I'm not really a believer. If you've heard me talk about team of the season players, half the releases are fraudulent. I don't make the rules. That is my opinion. You can read off the newspaper numbers, but something's not adding up. And when players have big upgrades, without promos, without the proof of a track record, and random stats that are just out of place, I even distrust it more. Alba, 75 curve, only has 80 passing, 67 free kick, 42 aggression. I can do this, and it might not make the biggest of differences. Even her play styles look good on paper. I'm not locked in. Garcia's gonna join her in the debate. I am not a believer. That is a Justin Bieber reference. We're throwing back the years of baby, baby, baby. Pateas, amazing. And I would argue better than even Bonmati, at least if we're talking virtual pitch, a double 5-star. There's something about her. Araujo, big man on campus. If you're looking for a center back, and I actually don't feel that his price tag is that bad as it stands. Maybe under 500,000 coins. Athena's normally coming off the bench as a super sub, but she's a valued super sub. The pace, she's got a bit of that burner, 5-star weak foot, which is a nice little sprinkle. Quick step in Travella. There's a collaborative effort. Aspi, who is an investor in #United, I still believe to this day. I have him in foot champs. He was easy to unlock, a freebie from playing the weekend league. I don't know that he's going to replace the fullbacks you already have, but he's capable of doing the job. Jude Bellingham, 97 into the broken category, immediately 90s across the board, replacing some of the best to ever do it. That man is right here, right now. Camavinga, I just used him over the course of this past weekend, and I played him primarily as a fullback. I know that he has good numbers for a center mid. Maybe you prefer him in that role, but I thought that he was impactful, a difference maker. I had a lot of trust. I liked the dribbling. Everything worked, the facilitation, and that was as a left back. So I would recommend him in that role. Carvajal is difficult because there's just so many players better. And for that reason, maybe I'm tossing him into the debate. Is that fair? I don't know. Could he play the weekend for you? I believe so. I just don't feel that he's going to be in your starting 11. He's not making a reserve. 5'5" center back. That's going to be a no from yours truly. Artem, he's on the docket. I'm going to give him the debate, but some of you might have him in the pine and others could have him in foot champs. So this feels right. Fakir, another simple unlockable if you had an average to above average weekend league. Foot champ status. Always a physical center attacking mid. And I do like with this item in particular, you can play him as a left wing and a right wing to go with that attacking mid role, which does add nice chemistry bonuses in terms of the selection. Antoine Griezmann to the top. You're going to pay an arm and a leg. Gundogan is cool for the weekend. Even with the 4-star, I felt that his turning and the ability to provide and facilitate, there's a certain confidence, composure, cadence that I can co-sign. 3 mentions. If you have not subscribed, please and thank you. If you want to sound as crispy as we do, or you want the full office setup, Elgato, that's linked down below. All the products, we're locked and loaded. Number 3, we will have a full review at the end of the video. Expect some movements. That's how we do. Hansen to the top. Do we make another category? We got a few players that are really standing on business. Mr. Williams, just for the GP, the track record. Am I tripping? Am I giving him too much credit? He scored a lot of goals for our club already. I'm just saying. Isco at the disco will surprise you. Really enjoyed him. Precise dribbling, responsiveness, quick turning, a lot of left stick. João Cancelo, I'm conflicted. I don't love him as a left back. I was able to pack this item. He is a good, solid choice for a right back, but he's not one of the best. He's not elite. And that's my stance. I think it deals with his body type. I don't know if it's about the physicality or it's the chase back or the recovery. Something's just been lacking this year as the game's gone on. João Felix is not having the same issues, and based on our current stance, has to be rank 1. Koundé, good to go as a center back. Some of you will be able to co-sign, get on board, captain of the ship. Others, you want someone that's a bigger body type. And as the game's gone on, again, I'm going up against so much knockdown, whipping in crosses, and Koundé's not the best at winning those 50-50s or the bounce. That's just where I'm at. But I believe in him. If you want parallel parking or any quick turning and movements, that's real. Kubo, fun to use, would recommend. Also a cheap SBC. Lewandowski has grown into the game, not only with this upgrade, but with the patches or the updates. This style of striker with a little more size, can finish, has the ability with the first touch, can still pass and provide and lay off. They're on the up and up. Lola in goal. No, please don't do that to yourself. Lucas Vasquez has been prominent in my team. At least the weekend, I am tempted for a rank 1, or if we add another category, maybe there's some sort of combo. Martine, if you open packs, she was probably included in one of those pack openings. That's going to be a no-go in the Pine. Not just due to accessibility, but on the virtual pitch, she wasn't enough. I'm going to give him the debate. I think there's some fraudulent numbers there. If you remember, he started this year at a 74. Shout out to the improvements. Marino has been involved in the scene for quite some time. I don't think he's going to change your squad. Am I giving him extra credit due to being a familiar face? That is the question. Modric, what an item. What a player, both on and off the pitch. And I'm so happy that EA has made it where he transcends. He can finally have that expression, make a difference. One of the best dribblers in the game. And to reiterate, not necessarily the skills, but the actual left stick or even the R1 dribbling. He's got that extra vernacular, if you will. Nico Williams, the second of the Williams. I'll still give him the weekend. He's got the burner. It's not fake. It's the real deal. Olga, she's got some real talent. I'm actually going to pull her into rank 1 if you're shopping for a left back. She reminds me and so closely resembles Karkawi if you're going that direction or that route, or even a Bacha. If you like that player, not going to be the biggest, not a large body type. You can turn, you can attack, you can chase back, you can have more so on the offensive end, plenty of discretionary behavior in a positive manner. Ona has been solid all year, not taking that away from her. If you want someone that, again, already has a certain pedigree that is almost a guarantee, the stamp of approval. Patricia got some numbers that aren't numbering. I'm just going to throw that out here. I'll put her into the debate, but that's not an intimidating item to go up against. Ramos, I packed him recently as well. I almost feel that he should be in this situation in Broken. He feels like old school Ramos. If you've played a bunch of FIFAs over the years, he's got something about him. From being able to make the tackles and the interceptions, having a natural overpowered nature. I'm happy with the upgrade. And if you've put him into your starting 11, or you gave him a chance to at least be on a rotational, I bet you he over-delivered. Rafinha, what an item to use. Very fun going into rank 1. If you got a finesse shot in your game, time that thing green and then celebrate in a little bit. Rodrigo, what an item. And even more so when we had Trevellis. Rodrigo had one of the nastiest Trevellis, especially that 87 at the time. Trailblazer, early SBC, expensive SBC. He's still in my club. Stats do not lie. 480 games played, which is already a true statement at mediocre clout. 291 goals, 247 assists. Heavy contributions. First instinct with Rudiger is that he needs to be broken. Not the same type of center back as Ramos, a lot less nimble, but that dominant beast, structure, power, strength, emphasis on being emphatic, just never losing any of those confrontations, and you body check everywhere. Rudiger is that guy. Salma, on record, she's really talented. Definitely a good player to have in your attack. I also feel that she might be a little overpriced. Well over 1 million coins seems a little bit heavy on the pocketbooks. Santos! She'll surprise you, at least the weekend. Has that double 5-star. I've been seeing her a lot off the bench. I've seen her in some different developing squads. Again, I'm not sure that she's taking precedent over players that you already have in your lineup, that you have full belief will come to play day in and day out. Just leaving that here. Savio, you're not using him. That's the reality. This new Sorloff, I don't know where to place him. He's such a difference maker. Might be the best SBC at this price point that we've seen. Cheap as can be. This starting 11 is well suited for a few of these players. You see both the Ramos and the Cancelo. Sorloth up front. 24 games played, 33 goals, 12 assists. And a full weekend league of destruction and disruption. Sorloth is the real deal. I just wanted to justify why I'm putting him so high. This is not a value tier system. He just changes the game. He's 6'5" with a 5-star weak foot. That's a combination. I don't have the trust, so we're going to the Pine. I think the numbers are not organic or authentic. Can I get a hashtag organics? Traore can go into the debate. Simon, also just used for a weekend league. I thought that he was decent. And for that reason, I'll put him into the debate. Goalkeepers are so opinionated no matter what happens. When you're doing these types of breakdowns, Valverde, filth. Vinicius Jr., filth. Vivian to the Pine. And this is a strong front runner crowd. I told you about half the players typically have question marks. We don't have the answers or the solutions. It doesn't always make sense. But then the other half, they're performing. And La Liga in particular has quite a bit of versatility. Let's review. As per usual, the Pine, I don't really want to have movement. I'm not making a case for any of them going up. It's more of a question, is anybody in the debatable maybe going down? Yeah, Mikel might have to go to the Pine. I just can't see you using him in any capacity. And if you do, where are you playing him? He's not better than the holding mids that I have or the center mids. He's not a better center back. I can't see him getting into any level of a rotational or a super sub or just making a difference. The debate, I don't believe, is going to have too much movement either. I'm trying to figure out if I want to have another category just to break up some of this broken. We usually don't have nearly a full row. That's out of the normal. I'm just going to put a top 5. So these are the 5 players that I would choose from broken to prioritize. Let's get back into this. Foot champs. I like Fekir a lot. Fun item to use. I think Koundé, if you can go with someone that's undersized. João Cancelo, I can understand a case. Some of foot champs has players that are more on the high end and other ones that are just beating out being in the debate. Vasquez is still getting minutes for the club. I don't believe in my FIFA heart, my FC initiative, that any of these players technically deserve rank 1. But this is where it should get a little spicy. Isco at the disco. He's got the footwork, the rhythm. We're giving him the notch. I like Olga. I like Ona. I love Rodrigo. The broken category's got something to it. I'm looking at these players. If anything, the 2 individuals that maybe you could move around is a Ramos and a Rudiger, but I feel that broken is right. So let's pick our 5. Jude Bellingham goes up 1,000%. Pateus goes up. Hansen goes up. For me, I think Modric has to be there and Vinicius Jr. So if I'm taking 5 and leaving 5, that's the section. It's not easy to do, but I feel good about what we've done. Either way, you're going to let me know. Use the comment section. You see the black shades. Everything's on deck, which means that we're on one. I look forward to the discussion and the back and forth, and I have a lot more content coming out ASAP.